If a bad team plays badly, it does not hurt so much. When a team that can be great gets thrashed, those are the ones that really cause pain. And that is why Ben Stokes England Test team are stuck in this cycle of frustration. From the sensational win at Headingley last week to a thrashing in the second test in Birmingham, whenever England take 2 steps forward, there is always a defeat that knocks them back. As England's fate was sealed on day 5, Edgbaston was alive to the beat of an Indian drum. England get battered everywhere they go, saying the tourists support. This 336-run defeat can be added to the 423-run loss in Hamilton, the 9-wicket thrashing in Rawalpindi, the meek 8-wicket loss at the hands of a poor Sri Lanka at the Oval, or the 434-run thrashing by India in Rocket last February. When England lose, they lose badly. 2 of those, against New Zealand and Sri Lanka, could be written off as dead rubbers. Were the list shorter, you could put them down to the odd bad day. But until the trend of one England hammering a series is ruled out, they are not going to get to where they want to go. Series wins could come. They may beat India over 5 matches here. But some have been talking about this team going on to become the best England side since the one Andrew Strauss led to the top of the world rankings. Head coach Brendan McCullum told his team to shoot for the stars at the start of the summer. Fail to change and their ship may not leave Earth's atmosphere. After a fine century in Leeds, he made a duck and 24 in his 2 innings at Edgbaston. It is a familiar problem for a batter who did not make a 50 in the 4 tests in India at the start of last year after his epic 196 in the first test. Before play on day 5, he was working with batting coach Marcus Trescothick on his head position, attempting to prevent himself falling to the offside before contact, as he did when edging a cache deep in the first innings. With its slope, Lord's is not the ideal place to have such issues. Zach Crawley is another batter unable to break free of his own troubles. His 65 in the first test, which followed 124 against Zimbabwe, was crucial to England's win, but his wild drive in the second over of England's chase was the worst dismissal in an otherwise sensible quest for a draw. He is averaging +21 when seamers pitch the ball up to him since the start of 2022. If India were unaware of that weakness before, they are now. The test also resulted in some ugly numbers for England spinner Shoaib Bashir. The 21-year-old's match figures of 5 to 286 are the most expensive for England since 1950 and the 3rd most costly in his side's test history. No test spinner who has bowled as many overs 679.1 as Bashir has as high an economy rate 3.80. Not pretty. England's Bashir experiment is at an interesting phase. Picked for his debut last year after 10 first-class matches, and still unable to get a game for his county, he has been picked on potential. Against Zimbabwe at the start of the summer, he looked to be finding success by bowling tighter to the stumps, resulting in a more accurate line, while he was also bowling a fuller length. He deserves credit for working on a carom ball, an off-spinner's mystery delivery which is flicked from the hand and turns from right to left, which he bowled at least 3 times in the first innings. It should also be pointed out India's spinner Ravindra Jadeja has taken to 282 in the series with the advantage of bowling in the 4th innings of both tests, but 6 of Bashir's 8 wickets in this series have come caught in the deep. The others were a lower-order stumping and a top-edge slog he caught himself. That leads nicely to England's pace bowlers. Having opted to pick an unchanged side for Edgbaston, Chris Woakes, Britton Carse and Josh Tongue have now bowled 82, 77 and 81 overs respectively. Mohammad Siraj is the only India quick to have bowled more than 62. All 3 of England's pacemen struggled at times in Birmingham. Woakes was not as threatening after his new ball spell, while Tongue has been played well by India's top order and was not as successful against the tail as in the first test. Change will surely come at Lord's given 3 days off is little time to recover and Jofra Archer is waiting in the wings. Could England conceivably leave out all 3? Gus Atkinson, who has not played since May because of a hamstring injury, is back in the squad, but it would be a risk to play Atkinson and Archer, who has bowled in 2 innings in a match once in 4 years, in the same she. Woakes, 36, may need a rest, but England like variety in their attack, and he averages 12.9 at Lords, the best of any bowler in Test history. England would also need to replace his batting at number 8 if he is left out, even more so if Carse, an able batter, was also absent at number 9. Sam Cook is the Woakes replacement in England's squad, but does not offer that same batting depth. Do not rule out bowling all-rounder Jamie Overton, adding to his 1 Test cap, which was earned in 2022. That it is England with selection problems is a remarkable turnaround from 6 days ago. India came into the 2nd Test facing endless questions around their big calls have been proven right. However, picking batting all-rounder Washington Sundar at number 8 looked a defensive move, but he shared an important stand of 144 with his captain, Shubman Gill, in the first innings and had Stokes LBW shortly before lunch with his off-spin on the final day. The other big call was to rest Jasprit Bumrah. His replacement Akashdeep was majestic and took 10 in the match. In truth, Gill could not have asked for a better week. Some questioned his declaration on day 4, but its timing meant England faced deep, with the new ball late on and again, when it was still hard the next morning. The result was 2 wickets in each spell. With 585 runs in 2 matches, Gill now needs a further 389 across the remaining 3 tests to break the legendary record for most runs in a series, set by the great Australian Don Bradman, who made 974 in the 1930 Ashes.